you both very much. Bryan Van Gorp from Houston County Protectors.
Hi, I'm Bryan Van Gorp, speaking on behalf of the Houston County Protectors. Houston County Protectors came into existence about 4.5 years ago when frac sand mines attempted to open in Houston County. Over this time, we have managed to prevent frac sand mining from starting in our county, but we have not yet succeeded in banning frac sand mining, which is our goal. Houston County Protectors is proud to endorse this alliance to ban frac sand mining, fracking, and address climate change. A ban is required because, number one, frac sand mining is a destructive activity that enables fracking, another destructive activity. Fracking contributes to climate change, which is the ultimate destructive activity. Fracking is actually worse than burning coal in its impact on climate change because about 7% of the methane escapes in the various processes, and methane is 20 times more potent as a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. Fracking slows our progress towards conservation and renewable energy by extending the supply of fossil fuels. Number two, regulation doesn't work. By definition, regulation allows an activity. Regulations are written by the industry they are supposed to regulate and therefore are written to be ineffective. In Houston County, regulations are not enforced. We have been in a several-year-long battle to get current ordinances enforced, and we still have 3 of our 5 commissioners who are committed to non-enforcement. The frac sand mining industry in Wisconsin has proven itself unable to comply with state and local laws. Number 3, it is legal to ban an industry by end use. We know this based on the opinions of the University of Minnesota Law School professor, the Minnesota Association of Counties Land Use Attorney, the Houston County Attorney, and several other legal opinions. People attempting to frac sand mine in Houston County have caused several lawsuits to be brought against the county already, and frac sand mining hasn't even gotten a foothold yet. Number 4, the Nature's Trust concept makes it clear that government has a legal fiduciary responsibility acting as a trustee of our resources, the air, water, land, beauty, and other species, to protect these resources so they can be passed on to future generations. These resources are required for life. Nature doesn't negotiate. If you violate her laws, there will be consequences. Number 5, it is the areas that we preserve, not the scars created by extraction, that have lasting value to society. We remember and honor preservationists like John Muir or Sigrid Olsen, not polluters and extractors. When these polluting and extracting industries move into a community to privatize the commons and steal the wealth of an area for personal gain, they turn neighbor against neighbor and destroy democracy. This happened in Houston County. My neighbor tried to start a frac sand mine, and the neighborhood turned into a war zone. When we tried to resist this mine, the county retaliated against us, and there went democracy. Climate justice, which side are you on? I think we know which side the frac sand mining industry's on. I say, keep it in the ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryan. I don't think anybody's here from the Catholic Workers. We'll invite.
I'm Patrick Wilson, chair of the local Sierra Club group and the Coulee region group of the Sierra Club and the Wisconsin chapter of the Sierra Club, joined today with the Alliance to ban sand mining and address climate change in opposing any new frac sand mines in our area and urging that lawmakers ban frac sand mining altogether for the health and safety of our environment and our citizens. The Sierra Club Jahnke chapter has called for a moratorium on issuing any frac sand mining permits until the state conducts a comprehensive study of the impacts of frac sand mining and the adequacy of local controls over frac sand mining. Frac sand is a dangerous business on many levels, and we need to study how it affects the air quality with the silica dust, with water quality, water usage, land productivity, and what does shipping do. And then you get to the next stage, which is fracking, which causes more damage, and the next stage is burning the fossil fuels, which is another problem. So we need to make sure we know what is going on with frac sand mining and that it is a safe process to use. We're nearing a climate change tipping point that's already affecting the lives of millions around the world, and we must move from fossil fuel use as quickly as possible to avoid the most extreme catastrophic effects of climate change. And fracking for fossil fuels to be burned here or to export does not fit into an equation for a habitable Earth for our children or their children. Thank you.
We'll continue with our order here, Carl. Julie, you want to come up? Juliee de la Terra. Can't have a better earth-saving name than that. Sorry, I didn't introduce your group. So from Sacred Water, Sacred Land.
Get up next to the mic. My name is Juliee de la Terra, and I'm part of a group of people called the Sacred Water, Sacred Land, and we support the Alliance to Ban Frac Sand Mining and support actions to heal the planet and address climate chaos. Sacred Water, Sacred Land provides education and outreach to individuals and communities to enable tools for healing the earth and opportunities for the imagination and co-creation of a society based on renewable energy, healthy ecologies, and social justice. Beginning June 9th, we will be walking the road of the Enbridge pipeline corridor to raise awareness about the destructive tar sands and fracking. As a graduate of the UW-Madison's Gaylord Nelson Institute, I have a firm knowledge of the climate change impacts and what we need to do to preserve the life-giving forces of Mother Earth. Frac sand mining produces the sand used in fracking for oil and gas in over 30 states, and it's shipped all over the world. Fracking destroys the land, pollutes the groundwater, and has been tied to earthquake activity. It may surprise you, but the frac sand and fracking industry has been subsidized by us, with the massive amounts of money allocated as a result of Ronald Reagan's policies beginning in the 1980s. How does our system support this industry? First, fracking was given a green light when in 2005 it was exempted from the Clean Water Act. And coincidentally, we saw the beginning of the frac sand industry expansion right here in Wisconsin. That was called the Halliburton loophole. Federal subsidies to the fossil fuel industries help keep the destructive energy source alive, with tax breaks for far outpacing funding to support and develop renewables. Let's not forget the global finances of the frac sand and fracking industry. I'm sure you've all recognized BMO Bank, BMO Harris. It seems they're in every town now. Well, BMO Capital Investments is the #1 economic driver of mining interests in North America and a global player. So if you bank at BMO Harris, you may be indirectly supporting frac sand mining. And state governments and agencies also grease the wheels of the frac sand industry. Recently in Wisconsin, a health impact assessment was produced through the Institute for Wisconsin Health Initiatives. It stated in its executive summary that the greatest risk from frac sand mining was anxiety for those living near a mine. Come on, give me a break. This report didn't address silicosis from frac sand dust, water quality threats, or any of the effects this industry has on communities. As far as I can see it, it's pure propaganda and gleaned from industry rhetoric. So understand There are many faces to the frac sand Medusa. A monster born from federal subsidies, the Halliburton loophole, money from mega banks, international trade deals, and mega climate chaos deniers, and federal and state agencies. But we're the people that will make the change. We will ban frac sand mining, stop the pipelines filled with fracked oil, and preserve the land and heal the planet. We can and we will if we stick together and work for the common good. There are communities all over the world sharing our struggle and making a difference right now. Sacred water, sacred land.
Thank you so much. God, the power of these talks are just great. We're recording these, so these are going to be available to other groups if you want them. Just thank you so much. Let's see, we've got Forrest Jahnke up from the Crawford County Stewardship Alliance next, and then Linda Riddle from Families Against Energy Extraction after that. So, welcome.
As he said, I'm Forrest Jahnke from Crawford Stewardship Project, and we're happy to be a part of the Alliance and honored to support the goal of addressing climate change and banning the frac sand industry in this area. So if we look at what it is that we value and how it is that we can protect ourselves and what we value for ourselves and for future generations, we're blessed in this area with an abundance of fresh air, clean water, and rich soil teeming with life. However, if we're not cautious about how our region develops, these blessings are not guaranteed. Extractive and polluting industries like frac sand mining here in the Driftless must be faced by a united community with a clear vision for better alternatives. Now is the time to build a vibrant local economy that does not deplete the land, water, and people that it is based on. These productive and regenerative solutions will arise naturally if we let them, but if this becomes an industrial mining area, we may miss our opportunity, damage existing businesses, and continue to feel the effects of short-term boom and bust industries. And we've already seen this industry boom and bust once. All this is given additional urgency by our rapidly shifting climate. Ask any grazer and they'll tell you about our summer slump, the drought in the middle of July. Or in 2007 and 2008, Gaze Mills had 2 500-year floods within a 10-month time span. And the Army Corps of Engineers actually came in and told us that our 100-year floods are now 5-year floods. So our calculus needs to shift, and we need to adapt with the changing world around us. So in this context, removing entire hills for export to areas to do hydraulic fracturing in other areas makes no sense for anyone. Elimination of an entire ecosystem, waste of good topsoil, and export of the sand that once filtered and stored our water, as well as all the noise, dust, night lights, and divided communities, is the cost we pay here for a few temporary jobs. In Pennsylvania, Texas, and Oklahoma, and other areas where they do fracking, the costs are much higher. Globally, we're looking at an accelerated climate disruption as the cost of fracking and the methane emissions it causes. Crawford Stewardship Project is here to promote sustainable land use, environmental justice, and local control of our natural resources, or as Bill Greendeer says, the gifts we are blessed to receive. And we're really excited to see all the people here that are getting involved in these really important conversations. We want to see municipalities pushed by engaged citizens. We want to see democracy working for the people, and we support a ban as one of the ways to make that happen. Although that's not the route we took in Crawford County, we fully support other communities deciding for themselves how they want to manage their economies, manage their future, and plan for the changing climate. We hope that everyone will become involved in these discussions, and as a community of caring neighbors, we can find the best solutions for a challenging future. Thank you.